Hey guys, how is it going, owners here, and welcome back to a new F1 2016 video. We've got a new engine upgrade, that is good, going into Baku.
Hi, how are you? I'm just passing on your qualifying goals for this weekend.
So I believe Baku is round 8 of the season. You can see the qualifying goals on your screen right now. We got an engine upgrade, a few extra brake horsepower. You'll see the R&D puff over here, and I did that because I knew at Baku, you need quite a lot of engine power.
Welcome to qualifying in the Republic of Azerbaijan. The teams are making their last-minute adjustments before the lights go green, and the fight for pole position can get underway.
Right, so let's jump into the car. Q1 here, 13 more seconds to go. I went out very late at this, very late in the session because, as you could see in the introduction, it was raining, and I looked at the forecast and I saw the track was getting drier and drier, or the conditions were getting drier and drier at the end of the session. So I waited until the last, the dying couple of seconds, so to say, and then went out. I'm not sure why, but I'm thinking, I am the only car on track, I believe. So will be the only. No, I'm not. Okay, so there are a few other cars, but there are a lot of cars in the pit lane as well. So we are one of the few guys who are doing a lap here in mostly dry conditions. I mean, we're on the soft compound, so it should be good. I'm not entirely sure what compounds for Baku, but if I am smart, this is one of the harder compounds and not one of the softer, because then I save a softer set of compound, but we'll see. It was a bit of a scruffy lap, but nonetheless you're still 8.5 seconds up. There is no pressure here because everyone else has been setting their lap times on the intermediate tire, and I'm not sure why, but I guess the AI has not got the intelligence to save the intermediate tires, look at the forecast and know that at the end of the session it's dry again, and then set their hot lap, So in that Q1 we easily got first, I believe, and that is only due to most people staying in the pit lane. Here we see it. I am the only driver actually who has gone on to the soft compound, so a 10.5 second gap. You don't see that every day, but I'll take it. However, coming into Q2, it's business as usual. The track is dry. Again though, I have gone out for the final couple of seconds in this qualifying session, hopefully being able to get through. And indeed in Q1 I did use a set of harder compounds. This is super soft. I assume it's the softest compound we have got available, and yes, it has to be. So the super soft tires underneath the car, hopefully we'll be able to do something good. I wasn't entirely confident because the pace in the practice session was not that good, so let's see what we can do. Nonetheless, 10 seconds to go in this session, so this will be my one and only lap. Yes, this is my one and only lap. So probably I knew, this has been quite a long while since I drove this, so I'm not entirely sure what I was thinking, but I probably knew that it was going to be tough to get into Q3, and therefore probably trying to save a few set of tires by only using one stint at the end here. Let's see though if we can get into the top 10. Obviously that's our goal. At the end of the first sector though, 1.4 seconds down on Hamilton already. That is massive. This is such a interesting section, and then I make a right mess of it as well. So not a great lap at all, but that's what you get when you give yourself only one chance. If you mess it up, then you basically know what time it is. I got quite lucky that I didn't pick up any damage, because I definitely hit the wall on the inside there. But that section is really technical, very hard to not cut as well, as I missed the apex again there. So really scruffy lap. I lost another 6/10 in the middle sector to Hamilton, and that doesn't come really as a surprise. However, I went for quite low down for setup, and you'll definitely notice it in the race. In this final sector here, it gives a massive advantage. So we're on the cars for a 42.6 if it's right, and then in the end it's even a 42.8 or a 0.9, I believe. So not a fantastic lap at all. Definitely could have gone better, but let's not go that way, because I gave myself only one chance, and then this is the risk that you're obviously taking. Vettel went through, Raikkonen didn't go through. They both were on the set of soft tires, so whatever they were thinking, they probably thought it was gonna work, but it wasn't. We are in P14, and Button somehow qualifying himself in P8 with that McLaren Honda.
Hi, guess who? I've seen the team's expectations for the race, so I thought I'd pass them on and wish you luck. Take care.
So not really a good qualifying at all. I was not very pleased, but let's hope the race gives some good racing.
Days of motor racing, just how far and wide the love of speed and competition would spread. From Brands Hatch to Jerez to Valencia, the European Grand Prix has made its home all across the continent. And now a new era of this storied race brings us here, to the edge of the Caspian Sea.
Keep your eyes open on the run to turn 1 and keep it clean. We want to come out in one piece. Good luck.
So before the off, let's remind ourselves of yesterday's qualifying session with a look at the starting grid. Nico Rosberg will start his silver arrow from pole position. A very happy Felipe Massa starts second. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Hamilton, Ricciardo, Max Verstappen and Bottas, Vettel, Button, Hülkenberg and Sergio Perez, Raikkonen, Sainz, Fernando Alonso and a Renault, Kvyat, Palmer, Rio Haryanto and Pascal Wehrlein, Gutierrez and Grosjean, Felipe Nasser and Marcus Ericsson rounds off the grid. And with preparations almost complete, let's head down to the track.
Let's head down to the track indeed. Here we see the race strategy then for this race. Taking quite a bit of fuel with me here. It's mainly for that final sector, that very long straight. You can see the setup as well, like I said, low down for setup. Hopefully that gives us an advantage in the race, and yeah, trying to overtake as many cars as I can, obviously. Starting from P14, lights are out and away we go. Soft tires it are as well for me, so I've gone with the harder compound, but it seems like plenty of people have done that around us. Coming into turn 1 then, on the inside of plenty of cars. Like you know from F1 2016, overtaking at the start is relatively easy. Again, the AI is single file and you can just, you know, shoot up the inside and take a couple of positions. Of course you need to be careful that you do it cleanly, but I didn't see any problems there at all. So Button ahead of us, that is good, because that is our rival, if you remember. Was quite surprised to see Button in 8th. I mean, this is not really a track that should favor the McLaren Honda, as you know. They have a problem mostly with straight line speed. So, you know, again, surprised to see him up here, but whatever, we'll try to make a quick work of him. Like I said, he's on the super soft tire, we're on the soft, so that's a bit of a disadvantage, but this is only the first lap. Again, the AI, their Achilles heel is the first lap, definitely, or for sure rather, and hopefully we can capitalize on that, because the longer you wait, the more difficult it's going to be to make up places in the race. But to be honest, there are plenty of YouTubers who make up so many positions in the first 2 or 3 laps or so by just being so aggressive. They dive on the inside of this is what I mean. I back out of it there, because why would you go around the outside there in lap 1? I tried to take a little bit of a realistic approach as well, and I didn't think that was gonna work. Whereas you sometimes see other YouTubers, they make up so many positions in the first couple of laps by simply being aggressive, and then at the end of the race they are in a position that is higher than they really should be, because they overtook so many cars at the beginning, and then the only thing they do is defending. For the entire race they just have to defend, and I don't see any fun in that. So, you know, sometimes I'm also quite, I don't always want to make up positions. That sounds really weird, but it is fun also when you can attack in the race. That is also fun. It's not fun when you find yourself in P2 or P3 at the end of the first lap, because you overtook so many cars by dive bombing the shit out of them in the first couple of corners, and then for the rest of the race the AI gets up to pace again, and then you constantly have to look in the mirrors and only defend. It's also fun when you can attack for once, right? So you know what, I don't blame those guys, obviously. Those YouTubers cannot be blamed at all, because it's in the game, and if they want to take advantage of that, then they definitely should. I take advantage of it as well, obviously, but to a certain degree I think there's a limit as well as to how aggressive and how, yeah, how would you explain this? Well, it's very hard to explain, see. I think you get the point though. Of course you try to make up as many positions as you can to start. I do that as well, but there's a certain limit to from how far back you can dive from as well, and from how aggressive you can be, I think, even when racing against the AI. That story out of the way though, let's focus on this race. We are up in P6 after starting from 14th, so I'm not complaining at all, but like I said before, that is mainly because of the AI they're driving in the first couple of corners, so to say. They are usually single file, it's very easy to overtake them. However, I've already said that. Here is though where the top speed comes into play, right on the back of Bottas and actually touching the wall there. Holy holy, with 335 kilometers an hour or something like that, touching the wall. That's not something you really would like to do. Hamilton is on a 44.1. We've done a 45.1, so yeah, a second slower than the leader Hamilton. Actually, if you look on the minimap, Hamilton has got quite a bit of a gap to P2, which is, oh, who is that? I don't even know. Is it Rosberg? I think is Rosberg in P3 or P2? Rosberg is in P3, right? It's a Williams. Williams is in P2. Okay, so that has to be Massa then. Right. So far so good. 7/10s up on this lap compared to the previous lap, so I'm not complaining about that at all. And here you can see it again. Just look at this top speed. It's quite ridiculous. I'm not going to lie. Closing in on Ricciardo. We know that the Red Bull isn't the fastest in the straight line, but also overtaking the Mercedes here, and maybe also this Williams. We're 3 wide down this straight here as I call in for pitting this lap. 43.9, fastest lap of the race as well on the inside of Rosberg, and those are, what is it, 3 positions gained in down that straight. We're not done with Rosberg yet though. He fights back brilliantly, tries to keep it around the outside and does so brilliantly as well. This is fantastic racing from the AI. That's what we would like to see. No contact was made, but in the end Rosberg has got to give up because we have got DRS and also that, you know, OP, that super duper top speed basically is really helping us here, making up a few positions. They don't necessarily gain a lot in this middle sector here, where you don't necessarily need a lot of downforce here. Why not? It are relatively low speed corners, so you cannot really make a lot of time up by adding a lot of downforce. Obviously more downforce helps, even in the slower speed corners, but downforce makes more of an impact, I think, in high speed corners, and this track doesn't have very many or plenty of high speed corners, so you know what, I think running a low downforce setup is actually quite beneficial in the race. Now last lap, remember I said I would box this lap. That is not the case though. I've stayed out for another lap. Not sure what I was thinking, as I have missed the apex there, and now we've got Bottas right on our gearbox again. I have to leave him some room on the inside there, but as you can see in the mirror, for some reason he spun, and I don't entirely think that was down to me, because I think I left him enough room on the apex. I think Bottas himself went too deep into that second turn, made some contact with our rear wheels. I didn't even notice it, and then spun. Rosberg though, having DRS, comes down the inside here, flying down the inside. I'm gonna go side by side with him again. This time we are on the outside. Bit of contact is made. Nothing too major though, and we keep that position for now. But like you see here, I'm in P2, I'm losing massive amounts of time to P1 Hamilton, and the only thing I'm doing here is defending. I'm only looking in mirrors and that's it. And now comes an interesting stage of the race, because the cars behind us have gone for an undercut. Remember that Red Bull already went for an undercut, but we are staying out for some reason, and we're staying out for a really long time. And that is not weird, considering we were on the soft tire and the others were on the super soft. And then over here, what the hell was happening here, man? Hamilton goes for a fantastic move, really. And I was flabbergasted by it. I was just simply flabbergasted, and he just pushed away. I'm a bit confused here what I was doing. I guess I wasn't very eager to battle with Hamilton, since he was miles faster than me anyway, and we are soon going to pit. And perhaps what I was thinking was, you know, let's not fight him hard there, and then get DRS on him and hopefully gain a bit of time. So that's the only explanation I can think of, but it didn't really work out that well. Yes, we got DRS, and we'll get DRS again over here as well, but Hamilton is already, you know, long into the distance, and that's another position lost then. Seems like we're on a one-stop strategy though. Super soft tires for the next stint. If we pit this lap, we would have to do 12 laps on the super soft tire. And we've done 14 on this set, so quite a task ahead of us still. But we keep on going until lap 16. And obviously, as you can imagine, the tires are quite shot now. So last couple of laps, pretty lonely race, but we know as well we're still in the strategic battle with Rosberg, Ricciardo, and I think Massa or Bottas or whatever. That Williams. I think though Rosberg and that Red Bull Ricciardo are out of our sight. They have gone for a massive undercut, while we have stayed out, as there's a corner cut there, as we have stayed out on the soft tire. So, you know what, I think if we can still get P4 or 5 even, I would be happy. And then there's a for the safety car, and there's a lot of debris there. There must have been a crash. Virtual safety car is out though. 10 more laps to go in this race, and I think we'll be pitting this lap. That would be a wise choice. But where are we going to rejoin? You know, that's also a good question. I'm hoping that this virtual safety car stays out for quite a long while, because then we get a bit of an advantage when pitting. So let's see. Coming into the pit lane then, super soft tires, and exactly when I come into the pit lane the virtual safety car is ending. Fair enough, that's the way that goes, and that can happen sometimes. So in the pit lane we are. What can we do now? What can we do? Where will we rejoin? Rosberg already flies down the straight here, so that position is way out of our sights. But where is Ricciardo? Remember, Ricciardo pitted as well before us. Same for the Mercedes obviously, or the Williams rather. There is the Williams, there is Bottas. He rejoins ahead of us, but this is gonna get interesting. He is on the medium tire and we are on the super soft compound, so there are 2 compounds difference in between ourselves. And secondly as well, Bottas has been on those medium tires for, you know, quite a while now, I imagine. So, you know what, 9 more laps to go. There is P4, or sorry, a podium place within our hands. It's on the cards here, I would say. We've got a little bit of spare fuel as well. That is always nice. Let's see what we can do on Bottas then. See if we can overtake him using those fresh, super soft tires we have got on our car now. Honestly, I'm not entirely sure what happened to Ricciardo, because I'm sure he was up here before. Obviously Hamilton is leading, Rosberg is in second, then Bottas is ahead of us, so I don't know where Ricciardo has gone. And still this debris is on the track, lying there, so a little bit weird, but whatever. Now this Baku track, obviously it's a new track on the calendar, but I don't know, I couldn't find my flow around this track. It is honestly, it's quite a tough track to master as well, so there is a challenge in driving this track, but you know what, it's not my kind of taste at all. I very much dislike this track. There's not really a nice flow in it for me, and I'm more of the guy who likes the fast flowing tracks and not the kind of start-stop tracks, which honestly this track is quite a bit. After 1 lap already though, we fly past Bottas easily with use of the RS, and in lap 18 of the race we are, you know, looking quite comfortable to finish on the podium steps here. Just need to try to pull out the gap obviously to Bottas. I mean, that's our goal, and for some reason I think there's only 1 detection point, and therefore we get the RS once again, even though we're already ahead. So that's gonna help us again quite a bit, and I think, I'm not sure, but I think this 3rd place should be sealed. Now what's the gap to Rosberg though? Just for measurement, see if we can close that up in the last couple of laps here. Doing good business though. I guess P3 isn't bad after starting from P14. We just had a really poor qualifying, and that has to be improved for the next round of course. So doing relatively fast sector times here, but it's not a surprise considering we are on the super soft. The gap to Rosberg is 10 seconds. That we are still on track there. Whatever. And this section is, you know, I don't like it. It's not very likable for me. This section is actually quite good. This corner is quite tricky. It has a bit of a, you know, how would you call it? Elevation as well. Elevation changes as I turn into early there. And it doesn't really look like we are able to catch Rosberg at the moment. So again, we are pretty much sealed for this 3rd place with 8 more laps to go. There's not a lot more that could happen, I guess, unless Rosberg is on 2-stop, but I don't think he will be on 2-stop, to be honest. So a 143.7 last time round. A yellow flags there as Bottas has retired. So as you can see on the minimap, Bottas in the runoff area at turn 1 has parked his car. Not sure what that was. Maybe an engine blow up. It could well be. Starting lap 26, the final lap of the race. The gap to Rosberg has only been increasing, and yeah, that is quite impressive from Rosberg. But you know, my head wasn't really there for these last couple of laps. You know that you're gonna finish in P3 if you keep it clean. I think I've made a few mistakes as well in the last couple of laps, so it wasn't the best drive ever for sure. But I was already, you know, long happy with P3, and yeah, that's really it. I guess we got a little bit lucky in the sense that Ricciardo has for some reason disappeared from planet Earth, and Bottas also retiring there. But you know, that doesn't really matter because we got Bottas in the back anyway. So I didn't have the speed though, and that's why what I mean with lucky. I did not have the speed at all, and to finish then in P3 behind the two Mercedes guys, you know, I'll take it. I'll definitely take it. Sainz is behind us, P4. That also says something when Sainz is able to finish in P4, very close to hitting the wall there in that very tight section. It's unbelievably tight and also unbelievably easy to cut the corners there. So I have to be a bit careful for that. It's quite easy to cut corners in general around this track. This next corner as well is very easy to cut. Let's see if I cut it. Yes, see, that was a cut. So very easy to cut corners, but luckily the track limits is quite forgiving around this track as well. It's not very easy to pick up a warning or a penalty or anything like that. And maybe we should be happy with that because I wasn't the most, you know, this race wasn't the most accurate in terms of driving style. Anyway, coming across the line then to finish in P3, not really the best race ever, a pretty dull race in fact, but again I will happily take P3 after starting from P14. Engineer is happy as well. I was relatively happy with this P3. Will most likely be a few good points in the championship. Obviously though, Mercedes absolutely untouchable, especially Hamilton there, who finished ahead of us by, well, it would have been close to 30 seconds I think.
We were looking at an entirely different race before the safety car came out, but they were able to take full advantage after the field had been bunched up.
So as I say that, we can see the drivers coming out now to collect their trophies. It's yet more silverware to take back to their base in Brackley after another excellent Grand Prix. And after this round of the World Championship, here's how things look in the drivers' table. It's a good result for Lewis Hamilton, who moves further ahead at the top of the table. Moving on to the driver of the day then. Anthony Davidson, who would you go for?
It's a difficult one, but I'll have to go for the Renault driver. They pushed and found some fantastic performance. It was just a pleasure to watch.
And now let's take a look at the constructors' standings. Mercedes have extended their lead at the top of the standings. Meanwhile, Ferrari have improved their position. A strong weekend from them as they fight their way towards the top. That's it for today's Grand Prix, and from Ant and I, it's goodbye, and see you again next time.
Yeah, interestingly enough, Hamilton is 70 points ahead of his teammate in the championship, which is absolutely massive. So he's absolutely dominating the championship at this stage. There's not a lot you can do to stop this man, and also finishing 26 seconds behind him last race. That is quite painful. That was round 8 though for this season. Make sure you join next time because I think it's at Austria, and I remember that one is exceptional. That race will be very good. We've got, however, 900 research point gained on our account, so to say, after this race. So we can still invest, and also after that weekend we can see we're again beating Button. So not too bad, but like I said before, make sure you join next time as well for round 9 because I can tell you that will be a very good race. Thanks all for watching. If you have enjoyed the video, I would appreciate a like. That's it for me. Goodbye and take care.